Hello everybody, it's TJ here, and welcome to the Nintendo Wiretap for the evening of May 19th, 2017. As you may have guessed, yes indeed, I have completely taken over the show. No, I'm just kidding. Don't worry, you'll get your daily dose of Amiibo Jason real soon, but for now you'll have to settle for the latest and greatest Nintendo news, so let's dig in and see what's going on in the world of Nintendo today. Our top story, the Switch is about to host some electrifying action as Inti Creates has announced it's bringing the Azure Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack to Nintendo's hybrid console. These action games already livened up the 3DS eShop, but transfer to Switch brings not only both games bundled together with all their DLC, but many other new or tweaked features to make this the definitive Gunvolt experience. Game balance has been altered at various points for a smoother experience, and the kudos system in the first game has now been replaced by the system from the sequel. Both games will now be running at 60 frames per second instead of the original's 30. This will maintain the visual style the originals were known for, but at an enhanced rate to really make it stand out. It's noted that the playable Copen from ASG2 will really benefit from this enhancement thanks to his very mobile style of play. That's not the only visual improvements the games will be seeing though. Visually, the screen layout has been changed to be more intuitive on the Switch. Before, things like menus would have to be divided by two different screens, but here everything will be displayed clearly on one. Event graphics and in-game text will also be clearer and easier to see and read thanks to the HD platform. Speaking of HD, the Switch's HD Rumble will enhance the action in new ways through not just the Joy-Con, but the fully compatible Pro Controller as well. Even if you've already played these games, here's a great excuse to revisit them on the Switch. The Azure Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack will release on the Nintendo Switch on August 31st. In other Gunvolt-related news, one of the interesting things to come out of Mighty No. 9's journey as a game was the 8-bit tie-in title Mighty Gunvolt, a melding of Mighty No. 9 Azure Striker Gunvolt and Galgun's worlds and characters. It was a fun little deviation of a crossover. Now the folks over at Inti Creates are trying to make lightning strike twice with a sequel bursting onto both the Nintendo Switch and the 3DS. Mighty Gunvolt Burst brings the game worlds of Mighty No. 9 and Azure Striker Gunvolt back together with the full lineup of Mighty Numbers set to challenge the player through the retro-inspired platformer. Beck and Gunvolt both return as playable characters, forced into circumstances where they have to take on a virtual reality melding of their worlds. They won't have complete access to their full abilities, but instead new and altered ones designed with this game in mind. By playing through the stages and fighting bosses, you'll earn plenty of rewards, a number of which can be used to customize your gameplay style and shots. For an in-depth and detailed breakdown of all the features, check out our website nintendowire.com. Mighty Gunvolt Burst blasts onto the Nintendo Switch on June 15th, with the 3DS version following on June 29th. Both will be available for $9.99 as downloads via the eShop. Look forward to more on these in the near future. Our next story is for all you fans of high-flying heroes. Nintendo has just released a new episode of, oh goodness, how do you pronounce this? Nyan Cat Mario. Nailed it. Which showcases several of the Switch's upcoming indie titles. One of the last titles shown was none other than the indie sensation Owlboy. No word yet on a US release date. Now we've got a little bit of Final Fantasy for you. 2017 marks 30 years since the original Final Fantasy hit the Famicom in Japan. Square Enix has been celebrating in multiple ways, from giant snow sculptures of Cloud and Sephiroth to a whole boatload of new merchandise. Two such pieces of merch are now available to pre-order in the US via the Square Enix store. Plushies of the franchise's main mascots, the Moogle and the Chocobo. They're dressed up for the occasion, with one wearing typical party garb and holding a cake, and the other donning the attire of the Yoshitaka, a mono-designed warrior of light, complete with a 30th anniversary shield. The helmet can also be pulled back like a hoodie. Each plush will cost $34.99 once they ship out this September. We're sure to hear even more Final Fantasy announcements in the coming months. Here's hoping the Nintendo Switch gets some love too. And finally, today marks the release of Fire Emblem Echoes, an inspired recreation of the original Fire Emblem Gaiden, alongside a pretty pair of polished amiibo, the armored green-haired guy Alm and the red-haired sword wielder in white, Celica. Fire Emblem Echoes Shadow of Valentia, as well as the accompanying amiibo, have been available in Japan for a hot minute, but now that they're available stateside, North America can now get their hands on the first two figures of a dedicated Fire Emblem line, which has me curious. Are all you amiibo collectors out there excited to pick up Alm and Celica? What other characters would you like to see in the Fire Emblem line? Let us know in the comments section below, and that wraps up the Nintendo Wiretap for Friday, May 19, 2017. While you're here, why don't you peruse some of the other entertaining content we have for you here on the Nintendo Wire YouTube channel. For up-to-the-minute Nintendo news, follow us on Twitter at NinWire, and be sure to visit our website nintendowire.com for all kinds of amazing Nintendo goodness. For everyone here at Nintendo Wire, have a great weekend, and thanks for playing.